Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name's Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. Today we're going to be telling you all about our top 5 books of 2020. So let's get into it.
It's been a difficult year.
Yes.
And as you all know, I've done quite a bit of reading, so this was a difficult challenge
And
for
as
me.
you all know, I've slacked hard. I think I've only read, like, if we're talking like actual novels and not, graphic novels and comics, like maybe 32 or 33. I haven't checked, but yeah, it's been a bad year for me, but
it's okay. It's okay because it's
are.
been a bad year for everyone. You just took it in one direction and I took it in the total opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just
we
what
coped
happened.
differently.
Yeah, that's all. Plus, my husband was gone,
Yes.
so I had nothing else to do.
No, mine is not gone. He's very much with me, and I've just been watching copious amounts of TikTok to turn my brain off, so there's not really much time for reading. But I did read some, and I have some favorites.
Okay. Now, did you have yours rated? Are we doing 5 to 1?
Sure.
Okay, so let's do 5 to 1.
Okay, you start. What's your number 5?
So, because I read so many books this year, I actually finished 2 different series, so I wanted to group them as a series, because I don't really know if I have a favorite. Well, I think I do. So, number 5 for me is going to be the Discovery of Witches series. It's called something else, though. All Souls Trilogy. So, A Discovery of Witches is number 1. Number 2 is Shadow of Night. And number 3 is The Book of Life. This I have been, putting off for I don't even know how long.
Me too. I want to read them so bad.
They are really, really wonderful. Not only just, for the fantasy, paranormal aspect. It's such an adventure, and there's so much history involved. It's got everything. Yeah. It's got vampires. It's got witches. It's got magic. It's got history. It's got time walking. Just anything and everything.
It's got romance too, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I forget about this because again, one of my favorite characters is a sub-character.
Oh.
It's not the main two.
Always.
Although, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is, what do I have as my number 5? Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. So I read this in the beginning of the year. I couldn't tell you all the details, but I do remember how I felt while reading this. And it was like the perfect escape for when everything was blowing up. This book takes place in New York, and it is kind of like a dual timeline book. So you see the 2 characters when they're in college, and then you see them as they're older, and they kind of discover what the other has been up to over the years. And I love books like that, where people reconnect, and you can see who they were then and who they are now, and if they kind of still mesh the same way. So I loved every second of this book, and I love this author. She's written some of my other favorites, and so this had to make my top 5. I loved it.
I remember you talking about it. I don't know if this is one of the ones I've read or not. I don't think so, but I also love everything by Renee Carlino. Yeah. She's really, really good.
She is.
Okay, my number 4 for this year is My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. This was my first book by her. I think it may be her first book. I'm not 100% sure though. I was really blown away by this one. It's a psychological thriller, but it definitely tells a different tale. Typically we're following the victim, and we're trying to figure out what's going on here. This one, it starts off, you're following a couple.
Okay.
And it's the story of a couple who do really bad things together.
Love that.
And then you start following them as individuals, and it just gets more and more twisty.
Okay.
Till the end, you're like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah.
I had no idea where this was going. I definitely did not think it was going in the direction that it did, but I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah. It's
definitely one of my top reads, for sure. Obviously, that's what this video is.
Right. My number 3 is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is a book that's been on my list for a really, really, really long time, and finally this year I got around to reading it. as somebody who has like a lifelong dream of living in Alaska, I loved this book. It's about a girl who reconnects with her estranged father as an adult. She's not a teenager, she's an adult. And she kind of leaves her life in the city behind. It sounds like a Hallmark movie, but I promise it has a very different feel. She leaves like her life in the city to like move to like rural Alaska to reconnect with her father because he's sick. And just the lessons that she learns along the way, and how she realizes that her father is like such a complicated man, and the situation that happened between them wasn't what she thought it was.
Those are always the most interesting stories.
It is. I loved it. I loved hearing about, how her father had created his own family there in Alaska, and I loved meeting those characters. Her father was a pilot.
Okay.
And so it was like the coolest book. And I loved the two after that. I love these characters. So yeah, that's my number 3. I loved it.
Okay. Was that your number 3 or your number 4?
That was my number 3. Oh, I skipped my number 4.
We'll just swap them, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll just do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. How'd you do your number 3 before my number 3?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay, my number 3 is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell.
This is also on my list.
This, You know
what's funny is I own it, and it's sitting on my bedside table, and it's been sitting there for like 2 months. Like, I'm gonna start it one day when I go to sleep, but I just haven't done it yet.
It's harsh.
Yeah.
It's a rough read. Not the writing. The writing is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I have spoken a little bit before about how talented I think the author is conveying this story, pushing this information out there, and like getting it in your face. Mm-hmm. Like, you're gonna hate this,
yeah,
but you need to know about it. It's definitely, oh man, it's heavy shit, and I could not read it in one sitting. Mm-hmm. But I also like needed to know what happened to her.
Yeah,
and the characters were just like, the levels of manipulation that go into something like that.
Like the grooming aspect.
Aspect. You see it from.
So I do know a little bit about what it's about.
Yeah, so it's a professor. It's a professor and a student, mm-hmm. essentially. And you can see, and it spans throughout the years. So you can see how deep the grooming goes. Because we start the book in present day, which is, mm-hmm. she's an adult. Mm-hmm. And she still has contact with him mm-hmm. when he gets accused again. Well, probably for the first time.
Yeah.
But he's obviously been doing this for years. So that was, it was wonderfully written. Definitely worth a read.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those books that everyone should have to read.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, circling back to my number 4. I actually have it with me because I read it this month, and I'm going to talk about it in our wrap-up that we're going to film. But it's called The Girl with All the Gifts. The fact that I have a sci-fi book on my top 5 of the year is like, I don't know who I am anymore. Everybody that I've been telling about this book, I don't want to say too much, but this is zombies done well. And once again, I can't believe I'm even saying that. Like, this is crazy. It's as if this year hasn't been fucked up enough already.
Zombies.
I have a zombie book on my top 5 of the year. This is from the point of view of, I don't know what to say about this. This is from the point of view of a child. And that's all I'm going to say. And it's about her connection with her teacher, and how their differences kind of are supposed to pit them against each other. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because I don't want to spoil anything else about it. But it was so good.
I'm just going to go out on a ledge here and say that her relationship with her teacher is a little bit different.
It is. Because she's different. That's why it's called The Girl with All the Gifts. She's different than other kids that are infected. And that's what I'm going to leave it at. Yes.
This was just a great
I know,
time
it's fitting for this year.
This. Yeah. Okay, my number 2 pick is also a series. It's called A Chance at Love. It's by Kat Savage. And I don't know how much more I can hype this series up. But I fucking love this series, okay? A Fighting Chance I read in the beginning of the year. It was definitely holding a strong-ass position in my top.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read Taking a Chance, which is the second one, and I was like, oh, and now I don't know which one's my favorite.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
And then I just finished One More Chance. And the series, that's the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm totally undecided.
Yeah.
Kat asked in the reader group who our favorite was, and I said I refuse to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love all of these characters so much. The stories were so engaging. I say I was in a reading funk, but I really was having trouble concentrating. And Kat's series is what kept me going.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I really loved them.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, no, I do have 2 romance books on my top 5, but
mm-hmm.
I'm stepping a little bit away from romance. I feel.
I'm trying to.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I want to read a few other things. Not that I have any problem with romance.
No,
but
it's just my
I figured out a lot of it.
Genre. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little sick of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
My number 2, I don't have a copy of because I read it on my Kindle. But it also came out this month, and it's Layla by Colleen Hoover. I finished it before she did, and I texted her and I was like, I need you to finish this because I need somebody to talk to about this.
But, like, I started it before she did, so.
Technically.
I did. I started it before her because I was like on it, and then I was not on it.
Yeah.
Because I was sleepy girl.
The second I actually like started it and got into it though, it's like I couldn't stop. Like I had to finish it.
So good.
It was so not what I thought it was gonna be, but in the best way.
So good.
The fact that she can write anything is so upsetting to me.
Bro, can we talk about that?
So irritating.
She is so good at
she can
anything
genuinely
she does.
write anything.
Like, she could probably write a grocery list, and
Truly.
I'd buy it.
Truly. I want her to write my eulogy.
Yeah, we're requesting that right now.
Yeah. I will read anything that she writes, and like, it's so different than anything that she's written, but I loved every single second of it. And when I finished it, I was like, wait a second. I had like whiplash for a second. Because it was going one way, and I was mad, and then it was going another way, and I was even more mad, and then I figured out where it was actually going, and I was like, okay, I couldn't have thought of this myself, but that's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. And I was so worried about the ending. That last little bit, I was like, swear to goodness.
I was like, if this is gonna, you know what I mean? Like, it was going one way, and then it was going the other way, where like we thought we knew who Layla was. And I was like, oh fuck no, there's no way. I was so mad.
It's so hard to
I was
talk
like, I
about
can't believe she did this to me.
But you know what? I think we will be covering this in a book babble coming up. Because as you guys know, with Colleen's books, we really just need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 1 of the year is Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. My heart.
I loved it.
It was, I think it might be one of my new favorites.
I too read this, and it was on my top 5 until I read the book this month that made it to the top 5. That replaced it.
Yeah.
But like, I could only have one Colleen book on here, so I chose Layla because I liked Layla just a little bit better, just because it was different. And I loved Heartbones. I
felt like, I don't know, I read through Heartbones quicker than Layla. Like, I really could not get enough.
Oh, I read Layla quicker. Not that I'm like comparing them, because they're very different.
They're very different.
Both of
but
them
that's when
ways,
that's the reason that I chose Heartbones to be on my number 5.
Yeah.
Because I also had Layla was very high for me because that was a very wonderful book.
Yes.
But yeah, Heartbones.
We're doing a babble on that too.
Yes.
We might do like a dual video about both of this. They both came out this year and they're both by her.
Yeah, we might do a dual. Either way, we're going to be talking about them.
If you have met me at all, or if you've watched any of these books, my number 1 book for this year will be absolutely no surprise. Can I borrow your copy? Because I didn't bring mine.
One of my 2 big fat boys are.
It was Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I have waited over a decade for this book to come out, and it finally, during the most tumultuous year of my life, it came, or all of our lives, I would bet, it came out, and it was everything I wanted it to be. It was everything I needed in that moment.
Stephanie Meyer came in and saved
she did.
the day.
Stephanie Meyer really saved 2020. And she really said, here, there you go. Feel better, everyone. It was incredible. I loved the extra time, the extra attention on the Cullens. It's what I needed. And if she wrote a million more books about that family, I would read them all and love them all.
Listen, the reality of the situation is you could get rid of Edward and Bella and just give me the rest of them.
Thank you.
Just give me the rest of them.
But I have to say, since I'm such a moody bitch, I loved Edward's inner monologue.
No, okay. If it's told from Edward's point of view, you can keep them.
Yes.
But
because, I don't know, Bella, maybe it's just because I read so many books from her point of view, but like I kind of got annoyed with her. I was a little done with her.
Listen, I still got a little annoyed with her in Midnight Sun.
I know.
But Alice
I love
Jasper,
a moody vampire.
Let me tell you that my opinion on Emmett has totally changed, but I'm gonna like digress.
And Carlisle, you guys know my Carlisle obsession, and this was everything. Everything. That's all I gotta say about that. I don't feel like I need to talk about it. It's just the retelling of Twilight, which we all know. So, but it was beautiful, and there were new moments. Like I feel like I've talked to a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people who were like, I'm not going to read it because I've read Twilight and I've seen Twilight. It's different. I mean, we go from point A to point B for sure, but it happens differently because it's from two different people's point of view.
We were told it from Bella's point of view.
Yeah.
So there were so many times where like a Cullen would pop up or Edward would pop up and we had no idea. Yeah.
Edward doesn't. What was he doing when Bella was sleeping?
What do the Cullens do to fill their time? This was so fascinating.
And there was also a lot from Twilight where I'm like, well, how did he know she would be there? And how did this happen? And how did he feel that way? And, you know, so everything was explained. Thank you for saving 2020, Stephanie Meyer. I'll forever be in your debt.
Yeah. Thank you for creating Jasper Hale. That's all I gotta say.
Carlisle.
Thank you. Just thank you.
Anyway, that wraps up this video.
That's us. We're done babbling now.
Yeah,
that was our
stop.
5 videos. Our 5 videos.
Five videos.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Just.
I also want to be known in our defense. Okay, it's not that late. It's only 6:30, but I've been working all day, so it's what it is.
I have not.
I am still wearing my scrub pants.
I only got like 4 hours of sleep though.
Anyway.
I've been doing adult things today. It's awful. Okay, you know what?
We're grown-ups.
That's it. Okay, those were our top 5 reads of the year.
Yep.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Please let us know down below what your top 5 reads are. We want to add some more to our list for next year.
Absolutely, and add any suggestions that you have for us. Definitely hit that bell button so you know when we upload, which this year we are going to make like a regular uploading day.
Monday.
Yeah. So you will see us here Monday. Subscribe and definitely let us know down below what you want to see from us. That's it. I think that's it.
It is, indeed.
Bye.
Bye.